Welcome to HDTV. You now rocking with your boy. Now I know this is old. This was a long time ago, a while back, and it was when 50 Cent said he liked to forget about G Unit. Um, to me, you can't forget about G Unit. I understand what 50 mean by he liked to forget about it, but he got to remember, if it wasn't for G Unit and the movement of G Unit, it would have been 50. It would have been hard for him to get to where he's at. Now I'm not saying that he couldn't make it without Lloyd Banks or Yayo or all of them guys, Buck or Game. No, I'm not saying that. But to me, it made it easier for him because he didn't have to do a lot more work than what he was doing because he had a unit around him. He had people around him. He had a group of people behind him. He created his own game. And that to me stretched his power out even further because he was getting guys over here, over there, and they wanted to be a part. So to me, you really can't forget about it because you got to remember, you guys were going against Murder Inc. It was 50 and Murder Inc. Then it was G Unit versus Murder Inc. And you guys were going at it. Y'all had some bars for them. And those mixtapes of G Unit are classic. It's because of G Unit we're able to listen to a Lloyd Banks and listen to what he's talking about. Listen to his raspy voice. But 50 Cent, to me, one of my friends I went to school with at Texas Southern University. I got my bachelor's in broadcast journalism there. My dog was from Patterson. We always used to call him Patterson. He's from Patterson, New Jersey. Tough dude. He about 5'5", 5'6", little short dude, muscular. He looked like Adam Ant walking around, a big strong guy, you know. And he always would tell me, he told me when 50 Cent, he said 50 Cent was going to be bigger than Jay-Z. And other people were laughing at him. They was like, are you serious? That's Jay-Z. What do you mean? But he told me, he said, look, 50 is because he could do more than just music. He's a hustler. And he has a mark. He sets a mark. But he said straight up, 50's going to be the biggest thing. He's going to be bigger than Jay-Z. And we fast forward now. I mean, you could say he is. He's bigger than Jay. Even without doing music. To me, music-wise, 50 was better than Jay to me. Jay was straight, but the problem with Jay was he was stealing too many people's shit. Like, he was biting too many songs. He was biting too many bars. It's the same thing we're seeing today with Meek Mill. They're doing the same thing, biting and shit. I can't stand a biting ass nigga who gotta bite somebody's joint just to make they shit hot. You ain't gotta bite nothing. Like, to me, Ticket TV, Carcino, I like listening to those guys. Who did it this time? I like listening to him. And would I take something from them? I probably have. But at the end of the day, I would never run with it and say, oh, it's just me. Oh, it's just me. Oh, I look up to those guys. I look up to him. Carcino, I look up to him, especially when he tells his hood stories. He tells the hip hop, the truth behind series. Man, those really, really open my eyes to a lot of stuff. And you learn a lot of stuff from listening to Carcino. Carcino's a teacher to me. He's a teacher that's teaching you what's going on and helping you. But to me, 50 Cent, I understand, but we can't forget G Unit, man. G Unit, y'all had the hottest stuff that you introduced us to Banks, you introduced us to Buck, you introduced us to Yayo, you introduced us, to a lot of people. He even introduced us to the Game. We didn't know who the Game was, and the Game was on the label before him for Aftermath. So, it's just that I think that he's mad right now. I think maybe 5-10 years from now, I think they'll all be able to sit down and talk because you got to understand, Lloyd Banks' mom died and everything. I mean, or his dad died. His mom caught a stroke, and he kind of dropped everything and left. And I understood where 50 was coming from. I think because I grew up with a cancer, I understand how cancers are. Like, my brother's the same way as 50 Cent. Like, if it's some truth for real, he gonna put it out there. He gonna tell you straight up, like, that's BS or that's real. But they're very good people. Cancers are. They have a shady side to them now. They can get shady, but they're cool people. They look out for their family. They make sure people are good. And 50 did a lot for them guys, man. That's what people fail to realize. 50 did a lot because a lot of guys didn't do what 50 did. Like P. Diddy, yeah, he helped people, but 50 was helping people. Like he was letting them guys, have their masters and all this stuff. And, he was showing them another side and how Buck dissed him and he still brought Buck back and still tried to help young Buck. Used to give him money all the time, and it's crazy the stories you hear, But then it's like f him, like he gave his baby mother all these millions of dollars. He had, I mean, these hundred or 200 thousands of dollars. He had to put himself on child support so he wouldn't have to keep paying that much, which is the truth. I mean, and I think he gets a bad rap. People be like, "Oh man, well, look what he said about Dre and the woman, his daughter." I said, "Look, man, Dre, look, I feel Dre ain't like Carcino said. Dre ain't come out saying, 'Hey, 50 man, you tripping?' Nah, he ain't say nothing like that." Man, Dre just like me. What the hell wrong with this lady talking about she won 2 million a damn month to do what? See, that's what I'm saying. We done gave these people, these females, and we done given these people too much power. But 50 Cent, man, 50, I remember the first CD I heard of 50, I heard him and in the club and all that. Before that, I heard some underground stuff. When I heard Power of the Dollar, because my boy had the CD, he gave me Power of the Dollar to listen to, and I listened to Power of the Dollar, man. I was like, whoa, this go hard, you know what I'm saying? So that CD went hard, bro. Like Power of the Dollar and Guess Who's Back, man, was my favorite 50 Cent CDs. And I love the mixtapes he did, man. There's so many to talk about. I know 50 Cent is the future. That went hard. God's Plan was my joint. I like that they did the 8 Mile. I like the Victory, the Banks Victory. I like the Breathe Easy. He took that from the JCD and he had Banks get on there and just spray it. Banks was probably the most lyrical dude we heard in a while. And I just fell in love with Banks' bars because his bars was crazy. The only way I get blue balls is if a bitch got blue lipstick. You both ride on blocks because you ain't got to know how to break dance to end up in a cardboard box. I was like, oh my God. Banks is the truth. Buck was the truth too. Yayo, the early Yayo, he was on point. I still like Yayo today, even though I heard he don't write his raps. Everybody from Carcino and others, LB and them and T, all them say he don't write his raps, but but it's hard to forget about G Unit. I hope one day 50 could sit down with those guys, they be men about it, because it's hard to say F G Unit, man. G Unit, they were to me the best group or best clique in the 2000s. To me, they were better than Cash Money. They were better than all those guys, dude. They were better than Young Money and all of them. Dude, they could make any kind of song. Fifth could make any kind of song and, any type of hook and it's banging. And people forget 50 Cent dropped some CDs. They was Ross. Before I Self-Destruct, that went hard. Animal Ambition. Those are my CDs. Curtis went hard too. People sleep on Curtis. I'm like, dude, that AO Technology, that's my brother's favorite track. AO Technology killed that track. So tell me what's your favorite G Unit album and your favorite G Unit song, and your favorite G Unit member. My favorite G Unit guy was Banks. Banks was my guy. But I love Banks, then I love 50, then it was Buck, then it was Yayo, and then it was the game, then it was Yayo. But tell me, who is your favorite G Unit member? Who do you feel was the best out of the clique? And also, like, do you feel 50 should forget about G Unit? Do you feel he should never mess with them no more? Should he say F them and just, do what he gotta do? Move forward. Do you believe they can have a biopic one day? And would you pay to see it? I would pay to see it. I think it would be better than all the other biopics they put out. I couldn't watch NWA because Eazy not here no more. Just like I couldn't watch the Tupac story. They have to be here because I feel like other people telling their story is not going to be accurate, and it's not, and they're going to leave out some parts. And then I heard they beat up Eazy-E on the movie, and I'm like, whoa, that'll never happen. Eazy-E wouldn't have no hands put on him. That bullshit. But like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all, so you can receive upcoming content. If you would like to donate to the page, cash at me at welcome to HDTV. That's welcome, the word welcome, and then the number 2, and then HDIITV. And let me know, man. Do you like, who is your favorite member? What's your favorite G Unit song? And shoot, and if they make a biopic, would you go see it? And do you think they'll ever make a biopic, or you think it's over with? Let me know in the comment section. We out. Live boy.